sometimes I feel like that. Just doing that as a writer. Oh my goodness, all the hats. We spin so many plates. How do you balance all the chaos, especially whether or not you're neurodivergent in this whole creative business management thing? Let's check it. Welcome back, everybody, to Sitting Down with Soul Writer. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I'm your soul writer, author of sci-fi, fantasy, with dashes of romance and nerdy references. Today we're looking at the utter chaos of what it means to be a creator. The juxtaposition of having to do the whole life balance, work balance thing, making sure you're getting your friend and family time in, while also making sure that you're spending time with your found family, with your characters who found you to write their story. Oh my goodness, everyone. It is a very tedious tightrope to walk, and so many of us are learning how to do it in ways that we embrace our own chaos and make that seemingly weakness our strength. So let's go ahead and look at least 3 different categories of ways you're probably already doing that and not even giving yourself the credit or grace that you deserve to. First and foremost, a lot of us writers tend to struggle with some sort of blockage in our writing process somewhere. Some of my pantster friends are like, do not ask me to outline, I get blocked up. Some of my plotter friends go, I can't write without knowing everything and all the steps along the way. And then us plantsters like to live somewhere vicariously between the two, right? Right. And no one of us has a right way, no one of us has a wrong way, because really, truly, there isn't a correct way. There's just a correct for you way. Now, as an English teacher, I often always talked about the juxtaposition of pacing out your assignment for long-term assignments over a little bit of time. I've mentioned in other parts of my coaching programs how way back then, a 5-paragraph essay, that's maybe 1 or 2 brainstorming sessions for me. Now, on the other hand, I'm writing, 80 to 90,000 word books on average. That's a lot of brainstorming that I tend to like to do. And my brainstorming process is going to be way different than yours, but getting over that block is okay. Again, there's no wrong way to do it. We just got to make sure that you know that there are solutions, hello Moo, that are actionable for you to take, and we're playing musical door behind you there. So take the opportunity to open a door when it's given to you, okay? Yes, what works for one person is not going to work for everyone, but you should still seek support. You might have a friend, a coach, a mentor who can look at your situation and give you the key to unlocking the solution around that block. If you check out my friend writer Sam Wicker's channel, Breaking the Block, they do it every Sunday, okay? There are practical strategies that you can build into your day that you might not be building in. Can you give yourself a standing desk? This helps me so much to have this option because I think differently when I'm standing. It even goes down to the whole thing of your blood pressure is doing different things, okay? Your whole sitting and your standing blood pressure, a little bit different, puts oxygen through to the brain at different paces. It also gives me different scenery slightly. It's been snowing like cray-cray. I can't escape to my patio or go on walks right now because it's literally too cold. It was negative something last night. It's too cold. So do what you can to get your breaks in. Do what you can to get some exercise. I am a huge fan of spending a couple of hours an evening just dancing. I put on dance videos that are like workout videos to boy bands for a reason. Also, get comfortable with embracing the uncomfortable in overcoming your writer blocks, because that's where most of us writers are like, I feel blocked, because we don't like living in the uncomfortable. Some of us are blocked on marketing because we're just not fans of it. Some of us on editing and revising. Some of us on plotting and planning. Wherever you feel you're blocked, Find a solution that helps you get around it, that fits for you. Channel the chaos. Speaking of that, right on time. I bet it's a moo. Yes, it is, because we've been playing Musical Door. She's sitting on the other side of the door. In or out, ma'am? So my sound machine can do its job. Thank you, thank you. Also, with that being said, let's look at ways that you can turn your chaos into craft. Structure and discipline and patience go a long way, does it not, girl child? Yes, it does. Here you go, my girl. So, let's give her some treats, see if that helps. The importance of establishing some sort of routine that fits you is a great idea. Is every day going to be the same in a perfect world? Yes. On paper, yes. In reality, in practice, no. There are some days where I am able to get my butt right up out of bed when my alarm goes off the first time at 5:30, and there are other days where I'm going, oh my God, I was supposed to be up at 6. It is now 7. Okay? I like to try and get up early, but the older I'm getting, the harder it's getting for me. I'm becoming more and more of a night owl the older I get. So I've had to really look at the last year of changing my writing routine. Now I simply have a rule. I just have to get one sprint in on my writing projects a day. One sprint. That's it. I have a 1 sprint rule, and it's been working wonders. Because normally that sprint jump starts me into a 1 more sprint, 1 more chapter mode for a little bit. For some of us, it's having a dedicated writing space. Going back to having this standing desk. I keep my tablet here with its keyboard and stuff for a reason. Easy for me to just save it to the cloud on that beastie and then go over here to another screen, right? Right. For some of us, it's also taking care of making sure that we have our writing utensils taken care of. Or maybe it's making sure that your dining room table gets cleaned. I used to literally, one of my folding desks that I streamed from at the last place actually was a folding desk I used to pop up in the living room to write my fan fiction on way back when I was in college. So if you got to work in the living room or at a folding table, so be it. This might also include looking into things that no longer serve you. Maybe you're a staunch plotter who is used to doing index cards or sticky notes or a more traditional bulleted outline. On the other hand, perhaps that's a cue for you to go into something that's more graphic organizer, mind map, visually charted, flow charting maybe to get you through what you need to go through. Above all, emphasize looking at ways that you can focus in on honing what your true voice is. That's where the value of who you are as an author truly lies, is in the authentic voice and style that's going to come out of all the structures and discipline you put together. Patience included, right, Moo? Right. So, ultimately, the end goal is to build a community and have collaboration, is it not? There's so many benefits to connecting with fellow writers. That's one of the things of why I love being, ta-da, here on AuthorTube so much. Getting to connect with all of you in all the ways that we nerd out and geek out has allowed me to be more comfortable in my own skin, first and foremost. And for a lot of us writers and authors, that is where our biggest struggle really lies. Look for writing groups, workshops, conferences, and other online and in-person communities that fit your need. This is why I embrace things like the Women in Publishing Conference, Heart Breathing's writing community, On the Wings for Writers, Wide for the Win, and so many others. Because those communities are driving at keeping us driving and inspiring each other with accurate information to do what we need to do to build who we are at that authentic level, comfortably, safely, and highlight the power of collaboration all the more so. Our voices start booming. Speaking as somebody who used to sing as a soprano in choir, the higher note sopranos are harder to come by for those of us who can sing high-pitched and accurately and hold breath. There's very few of us, so you learn to suck it up and let the competition for whoever's belting louder to go and work together in unison eventually. for the whole of the song. You work that out in practice or in rehearsal. Same thing here. Your community should make you question your own boundaries, because who you were not even 7 months ago is going to handle who you are right now, let alone 7 years ago, if 7-year cycles are anything according to spirituality and astrologically speaking. So ultimately, you want to make sure at the end of the day that you're finding not just your place among your readers, but your purpose with that voice. We as English teachers, I would talk so much in class with my students about what do you think this author's intention, this an author's purpose was. It was not just some humanities-driven esotericism. Some pieces are legitimately written for what they're written to be. Some pieces are meant to make you think while you're enjoying a romantic story. Some of us like that when we read our whatevers. No, don't get me wrong, I like my escape from reality as much as anybody else, but I like a good tale as old as time, to quote Disney a little bit here. One that makes me question if I'm still a good human being. Ultimately, what's a reflection of your soul? What's a tiny piece of your voice that you're giving away every single time you write a word? That's where you're going to find the true stability among the chaos. I would venture to ask you not to ask for steadiness. Ask for stability. Steadiness, in my opinion, can lead to stagnation because you might get stuck in cycles that serve you for a time but not forever. So therefore, I encourage you, keep going. What feels like a wrong step is sometimes the best stumble or fumble you could have ever made when you're learning to win by inches. If you enjoyed this conversation and you want to see more with, please do check the description box below and join my newsletter, or make sure you're comment, sharing, subscribing, bringing a friend. Above all, take care of yourself. You've always been worth it.